Ladies and gentlemen, this is Lake Lanier. The water is actually receding. And this has happened before, but it's accelerated this time. I wonder if it's going to recede to the point where we actually start seeing Oscarville underneath. You never know. A lot of us feel that the ancestors are still down there. That's why we are seeing all of the drownings that we have seen, especially all through the spring and summer this year and previous years. So, I have a news clip that I'm going to show you, and then I'll be right back with the rest of my commentary.
Chopper 2 flew over Lake Lanier today. Check it out. This flight here showing us something we haven't seen in about 6 years, a rocky shoreline. The water level is down by about 7 feet because of the drought impacting Georgia right now. New at 4 o'clock, Channel 2's Barron Peterson spoke to longtime residents who say it could be a lot worse.
The shore of Lake Lanier doesn't look at all like it did last spring. If I were standing on this spot back then, I'd be in the water. John Barker has lived along Lake Lanier for more than 20 years. He says what's happening this year, more specifically the last couple of months, has its pros and cons.
I like seeing a little bit of beach and a little bit of the sandy shoreline come back. And we haven't had it for a while.
After a super hot summer and an autumn drought, the lake level is down between 6 and 7 feet. Not enough to compromise the Atlanta area's drinking water supply, but for Barker, just enough to pretty things up a bit.
As nice as that is, it doesn't need to get any worse.
Jack Bennett has seen much worse.
Well, back in '07, it was a whole lot more dangerous because I think it was down like 13 feet.
Jack says unsafe for boaters who didn't know the place. On this day, hazards usually hidden are now in full view. Last spring, this island just off Mary Alice Park in Forsyth County would have been underwater. We met John Barker at Thompson Creek Park in Dawson County.
You need to know the lake. You need to know the channels. You need to stay where the water is deep enough to facilitate the boat. And frankly, if it gets a whole lot lower, it's not safe to go out there boating, even if you know the lake.
Barker says the solution is simple, but out of our control. Just need some rain. Reporting along Lake Lanier, Barrett Peterson, Channel 2 Action News.
Y'all check out this picture. This tree has been underwater since the 1950s. Just look, this is Lake Lanier. This is Lake Lanier, y'all. And what if the Most High recedes the water to the point where we get to see Oscarville? I'm just saying. So, according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, down there in Georgia, they have declared a natural declaration. They are having a drought disaster in 4 counties. And this was declared last week. So, in its declaration, the USDA said those counties have experienced at least 8 weeks of drought. Some are going through exceptional drought conditions, the most severe levels. Now, they're saying that the last time it was this bad was 2007. They had a pretty bad drought down there, and Lake Lanier at that point in time also had receded. So, right now, they are saying they're definitely expecting this to get a lot worse. So, while the drought disaster is in the southern part of the state, the metro Atlanta region is also drier than usual. Many metro counties are experiencing abnormal dryness to moderate drought conditions, according to the U.S. Drought Monitor. Now, where I am, they had said, like back over the summer, that we would have a warmer and more drier winter here in the Northeast. It's definitely warmer. That's for sure. You're going to always have cold days in between. I mean, it is fall going into winter. I mean, that can't be avoided. So they're saying, people should conserve water, during these drought periods. They usually tell everybody to do that when there's a drought going on. And sometimes they'll even put injunctions in place where you can't wash your car or water your lawn and things like that. So, what we're looking at is Lake Lanier level, which is going down. The Georgia Environmental Protection Division has not declared a drought in the, statewide. They said right now it's just the northern part that they have already declared a drought, which would prompt any official water conservation measures. And they just get into the El Nino weather pattern that's being experienced across the US. And yeah, so, some areas are going to be more rainy, some are going to be more dry, you know, those things will happen. Drought conditions can complicate things between Georgia and its neighboring states that use water from the same river basins. Georgia has been engaged in legal battles for decades with Florida and Alabama, which both argue they want more water to flow downstream from Georgia. And the state has won a U.S. Supreme Court fight with Florida several years ago. So on Thursday, a judge sided with Georgia, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, and others in a different lawsuit, ruling that it means the 2015 plan to what they're talking about, managing the water flow that's going between Georgia and Alabama. So they're pretty much fighting over the water down there. And my whole point of this story is to show y'all how much Lake Lanier has receded. And I'm going to keep my eye on this because you never know what's going to be revealed. We are in the final days, and in the final days, we're going to see things that we have not seen before. So don't be surprised if one of these old days you're going to get a glimpse at Oscarville. You're going to see the actual town under that lake. But y'all, tell me what you think about this video. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.